Hi, this is Josh from Shamma Sandals, and today on Run With Us, we are going to be running at Wilder Ranch State Park. We ran here a couple of weeks ago, but we were running on the Coastal Loop Trail and then the trail up to 4 Mile Beach. Today, we are actually going to be running up the mountain. There's tons of trails there, it's a lot of fun, and we're going to be running on the Engelsman Loop Trail. So, let's go. Today on Run With Us, I've actually got three of my brothers. There's an insane asylum. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be weird. Three of my brothers, Sean, Joel, and Willie, who's back from Alaska, where he saw bears and all kinds of bears. Lots of bears. So Willie's gonna tell us about the bears in a minute. Anyways, we're going away from the farmhouse. We're heading up the mountain, through the tunnel.
So when I went with Rocky to go fishing on the Tanana River in Alaska for salmon, for hundreds and hundreds of salmon, would have to take them out of the nets. And in order to do so, you have to just be okay with grabbing a giant live fish and just wrangling it, you know? Just shove your hand in its gills and get a good grip, because it's a slippery fish. You can't just hold it like.
How much does the fish weigh?
Probably like 12 pounds, some of them, maybe more. And Rocky was like, yeah, if they're flopping around, my dad, he used to, you know, conk them on the head like a lot of people do, but I just realized if you just shove your thumb in there and crush their heart, they'll stop flopping. So really quickly, I had to learn how to crush salmon hearts. Amazing. So that I could help my cousin fish for his dog sled team.
So we are going on the Engelsman Loop. When you start heading towards the mountain, you're gonna see that big horse corral back there. Sometimes there's Clydesdales back there that they keep. In any case, you're gonna go right, and we're gonna go across a bridge here in a second, and then we're gonna take a left after that. There's the bridge.
Okay, what are we doing then?
So after going past the bridge, there's an immediate left up the mountain, and that's the trail we're on right now, the Engelsman Loop. We're gonna be on this probably for about 2 miles, and then we're gonna catch up with the, I think the Wild Boar Trail, or just the Boar Trail, I don't know.
Go Planet Earth on him, Josh. Get him. I went full Planet Earth on a mountain goat yesterday.
Did you?
2 days ago again.
Making them run. So if you can push through and deal with a few steep inclines, it's actually some pretty mellow running after you make it up those small sections.
We did it together because we shared. We're a team. We sacrificed for each other.
It was fun though. It was good.
So we've been running for about a mile on the Engelsman Loop Trail, and this is actually probably my favorite part of the run, because the meadow opens up, and instead of just kind of running through the woods, you end up getting this beautiful meadow here. Let's see, give you a good shot of it. This whole meadow, and they used to do this trail here. Used to just go straight up the meadow and up the mountain, but they've put in all these switchbacks for erosion control that take you up the side of the meadow and all the way up to the ridge of the mountain there. We're going to be running there in a minute. Anyways, this is a really pretty section. It's a great spot to run, and you get these cool views of the bay.
Now.
Real cool, guys. It's another neat section of the trail. It takes you through oaks that are skirting the outside of the meadow. And fun stuff in here. We're gonna get some more of it here in just a second. We're going back into the woods here. More oaks along the edge of the meadow. So as you can see, this is a really beautiful section of the trail. This is one of the main reasons I will come up here on this run. This meadow, it's unreal. So now we're almost done with this section of the Engelsman Loop Trail. So we're about halfway, and there's a bench up here. And at this bench, we're gonna take the Boar Trail. So at this bench, we're gonna take a hard left, and then we're gonna be looking for the old cabin trail. These guys.
This guy can't run for nothing. You think someone owned a business where he makes running sandals would be better at running, huh?
All right, right now we're on the old cabin trail, and there's this little section where you come down through the redwoods and you find this area, and it's almost like a cathedral in here, I would say. It is stunningly beautiful. The light, the redwoods. One of the things I think about this section of trail that's so cool is it's open. You can kind of see, there's more clarity. You can see through the trees a little better than some of the other places. The trail's interesting. I don't know. It's just a rare section here on the mountain.
And then there's these guys.
So now we're coming up out of the little creek bed area. It's dry this time of year. We're heading up out of it. Just a gorgeous spot. So the old cabin trail, if you get a chance, definitely check it out. So we're getting close to the end of the old cabin trail. And this trail's gonna pop out of the woods here in a minute. And then it's gonna turn into big meadow that'll take you up to the eucalyptus trees. They're kind of an important landmark here at Wilder Ranch. So if you come from the, farther up the mountain, I guess it'd be southeast or something like that, I'm not sure. If you come from the Chinkapin Trail or Pogonip and go to the Chinkapin Trail, then you'll meet with that boundary of Wilder. So this trail will take you all the way up there. Just keep filming them when I run past. So we just finished the old cabin trail, and at this point in the run, we've basically run 3.5 miles. where the old cabin trail meets is with the eucalyptus loop trail. And the cool thing is we've got another one of these awesome meadows here at Wilder. And there are a bunch of meadows all the way up the mountain. And it just keeps going and going. So it's really neat because you get the trees, but you get a lot of great views here. That's one of the best things about Wilder. So we're gonna rest up for a second and then we're gonna head back down the mountain on the old cabin trail.
I just noticed that when I was running behind Sean that I was looking at his footprints and they basically look like barefoot footprints. They're not really like shoes. You see where the heel strikes and the midfoot and the toes. Yeah. And it kind of proves that we're getting really close to barefoot running with these sandals, which is, I think, pretty cool.
Awesome. Good observation. So we're starting our trip back down the hill, and Joel was a little bit upset when he found out there was actually a return trip. I think he was hoping for a car or an escalator or a walker or a bottle or a diaper. I don't know. One of those.
A wambulance.
A wambulance. But here we go, back down the mountain. Now, one thing I haven't really talked about on Run With Us is just running in sandals. I'm wearing some Warriors right now, and it's a lot of fun. This is the main reason I started the company, is I just enjoyed running in minimalist footwear, and of the different sandals I was using, I just started to realize, man, I like my feet out in the open as opposed to in like some 5 fingers or even some really good shoes, like, which I'm a fan of and I own, like trail gloves or vapor gloves or Vivo. I own all those, but nothing can really beat the sandals. The freedom, and feet aren't sweaty and gross inside like an old sock feeling thing. Anyways, plus they're fast. So Joel must be really tired, or he's showing a tremendous amount of restraint. Usually he has like some sort of condition, I won't even name it so I'm not offensive to anybody, where he can't help himself but do something ridiculous or stupid. Like, as I'm not filming him right now, but he's doing weird jumps and poses as he's running. Normally when the camera is anywhere near him, he cannot help himself. I'm gonna say he's tired. He and his wife just had their 3rd child and must be taking it out of him. Oh. Been running this whole time down the old cabin trail, and we're on the return trip back to the Wild Boar Trail. I'm gonna take a right here, and we're going back to the Engelsman Loop Trail. So we just finished coming back on the old cabin trail, then the Wild Boar Trail, and now we made it back to the bench here at the top of the Engelsman Loop Trail. We've got these great views of the Monterey Bay out in front of us. We came up this side of the trail. Now we're gonna take a left and follow the trail into the woods. It's gonna go in the woods for maybe like 1/8 of a mile, and then we're gonna follow the trail. It's gonna take us along the edge of the meadow on the southern side of the mountain here, and head back down to the parking lot in the farm. So this is the next little tricky spot. Not too tricky, but there's a junction here. 4 different ways. That'll hook up with the wild boar trail right there. That one can take you up the mountain. It'll just keep going and going all the way to the Chinkapin trail and eucalyptus loop and all that. And then this one right here, we're taking a right, and this is the Engelsman loop, and we're gonna be heading back downhill pretty soon. So right now we're on the edge of the meadow on the return trip of the Engelsman loop. And this is why I love this run. There are so many great views of the bay. That's why Wilder is so great. All right, Willie, so you told us a little bit about your trip to Alaska, how you were crushing fish hearts on the Chilkat River. What else did you do?
That was actually the Chilkoot, Josh.
Oh, Chilkoot, my bad.
Yeah, it's a different river. What else did I do? I don't know, a lot of hiking. There were a lot of bears, so thankfully not really where I was. When I was at one of the rivers, it was time for the Salmon Run, and so all the bears were, out there. It was just like, you see on all the videos and pictures where bears are jumping around in the shallow water, chasing after salmon, jumping around. And so, there's tons of tourists. It's a pretty safe way to view them. There's like a natural barrier between you and the...
A barrier? Really? Really?
Yes. I was in their baratory, if you will. But anyway, I went on to the same mountain where they all walked down from is the one I went on a hike. And so I knew they were there, but I'd learned from locals and stuff that it's pretty normal. Like, I did some reading and stuff that even going alone is not that dangerous. Most bear encounters, the bears just don't even want to see you. They just want to go and leave. Every once in a while you'll accidentally walk into one that's trying to be territorial or whatever, and they'll kind of huff and puff, and you just kind of show them you're not a threat, and they'll leave you alone. Even if they charge you, there's a good chance it's just a bluff and they're just trying to scare you.
Okay.
So it's very, very rare that people actually get attacked or eaten in the end. Yeah, I mean, it can happen.
I think that's what we're all thinking about.
Yeah. So, I mean, needless to say, yeah, my heart was pumping when I was out there on some of those like dense brush trails.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't really see what was going on, and like that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to surprise a bear. And I was like, I can't help it. There's nowhere to. You can't tell what's on the other side. So I was told to like sing or talk or do different things, and so I did a lot of that.
So you show me some pictures where there's your footprint next to a bear's footprint.
Yeah. And you noticed how it was a lot bigger than my footprint.
And I noticed how it looked pretty fresh.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So here we are. We're finishing up our run. We're going past the horse stall. We probably have 1/10 of a mile to go. We're gonna go back under the overpass and finish at the farmhouse. And that'll be our run. And right now we're about 7.5 miles. All right, we made it back. Here we are. We've run 8 miles. That was the Engelsman loop, the wild boar trail, the old cabin trail, and then back down the mountain to the Wilder farm. I hope you enjoyed running with us. We're glad you came along. Happy trails.